Hi there, so I'm just back from a couple of nights away camping in Wiltshire. I stayed in Pewsey, which is towards the east of the plain. Nice little campsite, kind of attached to a pub. It's the Woodbridge Inn in Pewsey. I'll put a link in, or I'll put a page in here so you can see where it is. One of the things that I've never done is a kit breakdown, so if you're interested in kind of what I use and what I take away with me, stay tuned. If not, catch up on a different video. While I was in Wiltshire, I went over to Avebury, which is another interesting henge, and that's on a separate video that I'll post up there. So go and take a look at the Avebury video. So on my other Salisbury Plain video, I talked about how I use those Kriega base plates on top of this Outback pannier frame, and there's nothing wrong with that Kriega base plate setup. It's, you know, you can tell it's good. It's really well made, been around the world, lots of people use it. Just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't kind of tune in with my kind of requirements for when I go camping. I just like to chuck everything in a bag and then kind of sort it out when I'm there. So I was looking around and I thought I'd give some of this Lomo stuff a go. I've got some other Lomo tank bags that go on my on the front of the BMW, and they look really good. You know, the Lomo stuff is made to a price point, and you can tell what they're good at. So they're good at that kind of waterproof bag stuff, and everything else is a variation upon that. So these cost about 60 quid, and they're a bit kind of cheap and cheerful, if I'm really honest. What it is it's a coated woven bag. So if you think about those bags for life that you get, imagine that kind of setup, but then it's coated. So it's fully waterproof, but what it isn't is, I can imagine it's not particularly abrasive resistant. So if you were doing, you know, touring and you were to come off and this was to scrape against the ground, it'd just split open, I think. It's just like that bag for wipes, bag for life stuff, except it's got like I think a polymer outside on it. So what do I take when I go with me? Okay, let's do this. So folding chair. I think a folding chair is a bit of a luxury, but I really rate those folding chairs. Pair of trainers. I think the other one's in the other side. Bag of mixed food, you know, kind of noodles, sweet stuff, stuff that you can just pull together. Tell you a bit of a luxury is one of these Exped blow up bags. When I was in Salisbury, it was freezing. In that last video that I did, it had frozen overnight and I was uncomfortably cold. So a bit of a luxury. I bought one of these Exped, which is like a blow up bed, but it's got feather down inside it, so you get some thermal protection, and then a good 3-4 season sleeping bag. So that's that side. Oh, and an internal bag for your sleeping bag. I find that they make a difference, because if it's too warm, then you can just sleep in that, and also it keeps your sleeping bag from getting too grotty too. And then I have a base plate that I use for my cooking stove. Right, over on the other side, bag of clothes, the other trainer, my cooking stove, which is just one of those little kind of gas primer stove things. Just one of these regular gas stoves. But then the other thing that I think is pretty good, I'm sure that you've seen these, is one of these stainless camp sets. I've forgotten the make of them. Stanley. One of these Stanley stainless camp sets. Fits together like that. It's got a cup inside, and then I put the little stove thing inside there. I hold it all together in one of those molly bags. A dirty clothes bag, and toothpaste, that kind of thing. And then when I was camping, I saw these guys on KTMs, and they had identikit MSR tents, and those MSR tents are fantastic. You know, they are what everybody use, but they cost a bob or two. I think they're like 350 quid, something like that, which seems a bit excessive for a tent. So I did a bit of research, and Decathlon have got one which is almost an exact copy. Aluminium poles that fold down really short. It's got a, you know, just traditional tent kind of thing. Aluminium pegs. It must weigh less than 2 kilos. I would have thought probably about 1.5 kilos, but as you can see, packs up really short and just nicely fits in one of these. And then a towel, and you know, just one of those space saver towels. I've got a Kriega tail pack, and inside the Kriega tail pack I've got a toolkit, a really good toolkit, a Vera toolkit, and I've got a spare inner tube and some other bits and pieces, and I keep a spare inner tube as well in the under seat compartment there. If the truth be told, if I'm going to get a puncture, I'm just going to phone the AA up. I could probably change a tyre, but I've not got any interest in that. Anyway, let's have a look at these KTM guys. So I'm staying in Pewsey at the Woodbridge Inn, and yesterday I was in Avebury, and when I got back, the Austrian Armoured Division had arrived, and these fellas who look like they know exactly what they're doing with these KTMs turned up, all equipped with MSR tents and Moskos. I mean, they're seriously well funded, much better funded than I am. And I think today they're doing the rest of the Southern Loop. Is that what you're doing today?
Great Western Loop. Great
Western Loop, and they're in training to go and do the Tet in France, subject to conditions and subject to regulations. But fellas, have a great time. I hope you really enjoy it.
And you.
Cheers.